first month I decided to start pitching brands, I made 4 figures. You want to know how to get a paid brand deal? I'm here to help you with that. You're going to need to brand yourself. What kind of brands do you want to work with? If you want to work with Walmart, you probably don't just want to post a bunch of designer brands. Your community is not going to be interested in Walmart if you've grown an entire following based off of YSL and Chanel. Like, it's just not going to work that way. What kind of influencer do you want to be? What kind of brands do you want to work with? And stick to that. Specifically, if you are a creator of color, you need to take that advice 20 times more seriously. You do not want to be the creator that pigeonholes yourself. It's going to be just a little bit harder for us to get brand deals. That doesn't mean it's impossible. There are tons of super successful Black and POCs that make so much money in social media, but you know, it's just going to be a little bit more of a push for us. What you don't want to do is make that harder for yourself by just kind of putting your content all over the place. For example, I am a fashion influencer. I am only working with brands that I would actually shop at. I know the brands that if I associate myself with will tarnish my brand. For example, I recently got a few offers from stores like Dollar General. I think one was like Shein. Another one was something like that. Now, there is nothing wrong with those. Well, definitely some things wrong with those brands, specifically Shein, but that's another topic for another video. But the thing is, if I do a collaboration with Shein, I cannot be surprised when a luxury brand does not want to work with me. It just doesn't work that way. You need to have an audience that's catered to one type of something. You can't do Shein and then you can't do Bloomingdale's the next day. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So brand yourself. What kind of brands do you want to align yourself with? What kind of content do you want to post? What is your niche? That is important. That will help you determine the type of brands that you even want to get paid brand deals with. After you're branding yourself, you need to be building that community. Building a following is not the same as building a community. I literally mean a community. Whether it be networking with other influencers or whether it literally just be you responding to your comments, which for some reason is like such a hard thing for influencers to do. I'm not really sure why. You have 10K on Instagram, you can respond to your comments, I promise you. Build a relationship with your current following. There are certain videos I do till this day to nurture my community because I know they want to see them. If you are mutuals with other influencers, commenting on their brand deals, on their posts, it's really all about the connection, because I promise it's really not fulfilling if you don't have a community anyway. Then you're just a walking billboard, and you don't want to do that. That's not fun, and quite frankly, it's very fake. You need to create a separate email, and I'm pretty sure this is free. Create a separate email for just influencer things. I created an entirely new one with my name, KaylaNafara@gmail.com, because that is specifically for influencer stuff. That email that you create, you will put in your bio, you will put everywhere. That email, just being in your bio, increases your chances of you getting a brand deal by so much. It's important. Create a separate email so you can have organization. You will thank yourself for that later. And even now, if you're like, oh, I don't really get any emails, I don't care. Eventually you will. If you have any intentions of being successful in this career, you are eventually going to have an influx of emails from brand deals. You need to make sure it's a professional email, probably just your name, unless you have some sort of other personal brand name. That is all. Not curlyhead22@gmail.com. The year is 2023. So you will be putting a professional email in your bio so brands can reach out to you, and you will be handling all of your negotiations, and you will be doing all of your brand pitches from that email. Obviously, you have to reach out to brands. Yes, your email's in your bio now, so some brands are going to come in, they're going to reach out to you, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably not going to be the brands you like. At least not at first. The brands that come in to you, they're going to be so random. You're going to be like, who is this? I've never heard of you. They're going to give you crazy lowball offers. It's unfortunate. I mean, you can still kind of negotiate. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely had some incoming like brand deals that were like pretty good. But for the most part, the brand deals that were paid were me reaching out to them or applying on like an influencer platform. If you're not feeling necessarily comfortable with email pitches yet, which, okay, you need to get comfortable, but let's start slow. First, you can go on literally any influencer platform. Like there's Aspire IQ, there is Coley, there is Collabster. There are so many influencer platforms, and they have postings of different campaigns that you can apply to. They tell you exactly how much you're going to be paid, or they make you plug in a specific number, whatever your rate is. They usually give you suggestions. Not gonna lie, the suggestions can be kind of low, but when you're just starting out, it's kind of nice to just have proof that you can get paid for what you're doing. So it might just be like, oh, $100 for a TikTok. Not the highest number, but right now you're making nothing. So, you know, you can start off with that and then eventually work your way up to something else. I'm not suggesting lowballing yourself. I'm just saying this is an option to get you comfortable. Because initially, when we are starting out, unfortunately, it's like a rite of passage almost. Every influencer just takes way less than they should until we start learning the industry and understanding, oh, that's why they said yes. Because I literally asked them for nickels and dimes. And that's something I'm still constantly like learning over and over again. The faster I grow, the more I'm realizing I'm severely undercharging for my work. So we're gonna be working on that and upping the bid. That is besides the point. You can apply on influencer platforms, or you can reach out to brands directly in their email. If you go on Instagram, sometimes the email is already attached where it says contact, or you can go to that brand's website and then you can go all the way to the footer, and sometimes they have like a little section that says collaborations or PR or press, and you can reach out to that email. Or sometimes you can DM them and they'll send you the contact directly. Or you can literally go into Google, this brand PR, this brand press, and then they'll give you the email. Sometimes some of them are really hard to find. I'm not gonna lie, there are some I'm still searching for. But for the most part, you can definitely find like most brands just by Googling. And then you'll get their direct email and you'll be able to pitch them that way. Now that you've reached out to brands, they've responded, they say yes, and they try to make it a gifting in exchange for content, you need to try and turn that into a paid brand deal. This is where you need to start negotiating. You need to negotiate. You cannot just accept the first offer that they give you, because of course they're gonna ask you to do it for free. Why wouldn't they? Because that's like the easiest thing they can do. They can reach out to you and they can ask you, hey, you want a lipstick? Hey, you're goofy and naive, so you're gonna go yes. That's no shade, because I too was goofy and naive and I've said yes to many of free things. But you know, it was a learning curve, and initially it was exciting just getting free things, but you have to pay taxes on those things. I don't know if you guys know that. When you get PR and you are obligated to post content in exchange for that PR, not if there's no obligation to post, but if there is an obligation to post, you owe taxes on those things. Just so you guys know that. This is an actual business. I don't know if anybody ever talks about that, but you have to pay taxes on those. So that's not really free. You're paying them to give you clothes and promote for them. If you get a message back and they're trying to do it for free, negotiate and be like, hey, this is my rate. If they can't do it, ask them if you can get the gifting with no obligation to post. This is something I've been doing lately for brands that just don't quite have the budget yet. What I can offer is, okay, yes, I will accept your product, but no, there is not going to be an obligation for me to post, because if there's an obligation for me to post, I'm getting taxed. And I don't want to get taxed. I don't want to get taxed to promote your brand for you for free. That makes no sense. I'm just losing money. But what I do want to do is receive your product. And I'll probably naturally just post a little story about it for funsies because you gave it to me. But there is no deadline, there is no obligation, there's no pressure, and you can keep this brand in mind, and then in the future, maybe when they have the budget, you can work with them for a paid brand deal. So let's say you've negotiated already. You've come up with however much you are gonna get paid, or you've did a no obligation to post, blah, 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 whatever it is. Now that you have the product, or now that you're just emailing with them, or you're sending over the content, be professional. I cannot stress this enough. This means if you are agreeing to do some content in exchange for something, which should be money, it should not just be for a product, then you need to be on time. Like, I don't understand how people are not posting their posts on time. This is now your career. So you need to take this as serious as you would take a very serious corporate job you are walking into. Your boss would not have you showing up to work late time and time again and thinking that was okay. Honestly, if you did it one time, that's kind of unprofessional. You can't just ghost the brand after you get the product. Post your deliverables. If you have an obligation to post something on March 2nd, you need to have that post up by March 2nd. Furthermore, you need to reach out to the brand and just send them a cute little email being like, the post is live. They already know it's live. They got the tag. You probably already submitted to them on wherever they wanted you to submit it to. Be professional, but also be pleasant, because brands want to work with people and influencers who are pleasant. They have enough people in their inboxes that are stressing them out, missing deadlines, and being rude. Be nice. How are you? Thank you. I'm so excited. Tell them you're so excited to work with them. This is not the time to play it cool. I'm so excited. You've already got the money. You don't need to play it cool. If they agreed to give you $100, blah, 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 whatever it is, you know, if they've agreed to pay you, you already signed your contract and everything, get excited. This is the time to say, thank you so much, Heather. You've been so pleasant to work with. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I can't wait. I'm so excited for our collaboration. This is the time to suck up. Do it. There's no pride, there's no ego, no need for that. Get excited and let them know that. Say thank you and let them know you can't wait for them to see your content. That is going to go such a long way, and I guarantee it's going to result in a brand wanting to work with you again, as it has for me. Let me know if you guys want to see a video where I teach you how to negotiate a little bit more, or if you want me to teach you how to pitch brands. I hope this helps. That's all I have for today.